Pioneer sports, extra tales of great Boswell's never rock and roll. Pioneer sports, extra tales of great Boswellsports never gonna quit. Coach Weaver's roar echoes in our soul, chasing glory, now we're rock and roll. Pioneer sports, extra tales of great Boswellsports never gonna quit. Coach Weaver's roar echoes in our soul, chasing glory, now we're rock and roll.
Good evening and welcome to Pioneer Sports Extra, the Saginaw's only coaches show, number one show running 20 years straight. And hello everyone, we are live here at Red's Barbecue at 7335 Boat Club Road. And joining me, of course, is the head coach of the Boswell Pioneers, Coach Wes Weaver. Hello, Coach.
Hello, Jim.
Of course, I'm your host tonight, Jim Howard. And we don't have anybody on the boards tonight. Keith not able to make it. He's under the weather, and we got weather moving in. So those are two bad weather factors.
Yeah.
And then our student athlete tonight is the one and only Payton Rhodes. Hello, Payton.
Hello, how are you?
Payton was early today, and that was fantastic. I told the coach, I said, nobody's ever beat a coach here before. So we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the game against Forney last week. We're going to talk about the start of the district opener as the Pioneers travel to Mansfield to take on the Tigers. And then, of course, we will go one-on-one with Payton Rhodes. But first, we're going to take a quick break and recognize some of our sponsors. So stick with us. We'll be right back here on Pioneer Sports Extra.
Off of 73335 down on Boat Club Road, there's a place folks gather and let their troubles unload. Red's Barbecue delights under a Texas sky, with brisket, sausage ribs, and chicken fried. Juicy burger stacking high, Red's fries on my plate. Flavor so rich my mouth can't wait. Pay the man, he's got the magic touch. A bite of heaven, it's never too much. Oh, Red's Barbecue, make you move like a cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's Barbecue, every single bite. Fried steak, crispy and brown, the tastiest food in our little town. The sauce is poured with love, smoking so fine. Every meal there is a grand old time, with friends and tunes under the barbecue lights, laughing and eating through the warm summer nights. Grill marks are painted, a culinary art. Red's Barbecue knows the way to my heart. Oh, Red's Barbecue, make you move like a cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's Barbecue, every single bite. Barbecue, make you move like a cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's Barbecue, every single bite.
If you're a fan of classic rock and tired of hearing the same old songs over and over, you need to tune in to thezoo.net. Thousands of songs in the library. Radio like it used to be. Radio as it should be. It's on the internet 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and it's free. The best classic rock of all time. It's thezoo.net.
The internet's best classic rock. The Zoo.
All right, welcome back to Pioneer Sports Extra, the home of Red's Barbecue. And man, tonight is a good night. They got the pulled pork sandwiches with slaw and Carolina sauce for $9. You can't beat that. Come on out, join us. You can listen to the show live as we are once again pre-recorded. Coach, let's just dive right into the game against Forney. We knew going in that it was going to be a challenge. Forney's a very good football team. They've got some good wins under their belt against some top teams in the state.
Yep.
And so unfortunately did not go the way we wanted it to. What were your initial thoughts following the 75-20 loss to Forney?
I thought we did a good job of fighting the entire time. We had a run there where in the first quarter, we made some mistakes. We turned the ball over. We had some busted assignments on defense, and it was 28-0, and there's still 7 minutes left in the first quarter. And so, uh, you know, obviously that's less than ideal. So, from that point on, it was, you know, take care of your business, calm yourself down mentally, start doing your job, and that's what we preach to the kids. And we were able to put some scores on the board and put some points on the board versus them. But you know, I don't think that they're 55 points better than us if we play our best. It would have been a tough game, but we've got to play better. And so that was kind of initially what I was feeling. And then, going back and looking at the film, uh, it was pretty much what I thought. We fought hard, we battled. Um, we had too many mistakes as far as being in the wrong spot, the wrong gap, or whether it was jumping off sides or whatever. And versus a really good team, you have to eliminate the things that are within your control, and that's you know even if you don't make the play, but you're in your spot, you make it to where somebody else can make the play. And that was but the one thing that I was pleased with was, like I said, our fight. Like we never gave up, and we kept going and making them play us.
Yeah, make them earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that kind of stood out to us as well up in the press box was that, when you were down 21-0, would have been real easy just to give up. But the team kept fighting, kept trying, and they were able to pick up a couple of extra touchdowns. And so that says a lot about the kids and where they've come from where they were, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Juju did not start at quarterback, so that's been a big question for us, and I'm sure it's a big question for fans. Can you give us what went into the decision to start Tyler Reyes?
Juju had a family event outside of Texas, and it was something that he needed to be at. And so he wasn't at practice Monday and Tuesday, and it's hard to get ready to play quarterback on 2 days of prep. And so we knew in advance that Juju was going to be gone Monday and Tuesday. It wasn't a surprise. We had all been communicated with, and uh, we knew that he was going to be back on Wednesday, and we had a plan in place for utilizing him uh, in some form or fashion. And that Tyler had a great week of practice. He got all the reps with the ones and the twos. Uh, and it was we did some different things on offense than we typically do, and that was
Yes.
that was in an effort to maximize Tyler's skill sets that he excels at. And so uh, this week, Juju will start, and Tyler will get get some playing time as well, just like he has in all the games going forward. And we used district play to kind of see what some guys that were untested and unproven can do, and now that we're to district play, we're gonna take the guys that are our biggest threats on offense, defense, special teams, and we're gonna utilize them to the best of their abilities.
Perfect. So, Coach, what you're telling me is no quarterback controversy at the Boss.
Oh no, I mean, they Tyler and Juju get along great, and they do a lot of things real well, and Tyler's earned getting in the game, and so that's why we get him, at least a series or two every week, because I mean he's earned that, and so but if somebody's not performing, then we got to have a guy ready to step up. But we expect Juju to perform, and we expect Tyler to perform, and so it's a good situation to be in.
Yeah, for a guy to step in the way Tyler did, I thought he did pretty well, coming in and starting, and uh, and then to see Juju kind of out there at receiver, that was kind of cool too. Uh, those games are behind us. Those are, now it's the money games,
Hmm.
and so yeah, kind of cool to see some different players get some playing time. Coach, despite the score, there were a few bright spots offensively. Jace Richardson had over 100 yards again rushing, including that 56-yard touchdown. What did you see from him Friday night? What growth did you see from him?
Uh, Growth from Jace just compared to last year and through the first games of the season, and since he's gotten his shot to run the bulk of the snaps on offense, is I've been very very impressed with uh his finishing ability. He's not a tall guy, but he's a thick guy, and it, you know it, there's a lot of times in the game, even versus Forney, versus Saginaw, versus Haltom, where it looks like he's wrapped up for a 1 or 2 yard gain, but he keeps his feet moving, and all of a sudden we're 7, 8 yards down the field.
Yeah,
And so just his drive and the way he finishes runs, and the physical toughness he's shown uh, has been huge for us.
another one of your stars for last Friday night with Peyton Rhodes had a big night, 9 catches, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. How has he developed in your offensive system, and how important is his consistency moving forward?
Uh, you know, it we know what we have with Peyton. We're gonna have a guy that competes hard. We're gonna have a guy that's always in the right spot. We're gonna have a guy that knows his assignment. We're gonna have a guy that knows other people's assignments on the field too. And he's definitely our leader out there on offense. He's always picking people up. He's always encouraging people. And I know that he was pumped that he was able to find the end zone a couple times versus Forney. That's a quality defense and a quality opponent. And that was one of the things that uh, you know coming up middle school, ninth grade, he was used to being in the end zone a lot. And last year as a sophomore, he wasn't able to find it. And so that was one of the things he talked about at the beginning of the year, is like he wanted to find the end zone, and he found it twice the other night. And so that was, I know he was pumped about that. And it was,
And not just find it.
yeah,
Coach, those 2 catches were incredible
yeah, yeah. I
because
mean,
he was like Superman. He had capes draped around his back, and
yeah,
those were catches that a lot of times you don't see, especially juniors. You don't see juniors make, and
yeah,
so we were really impressed.
yeah. He's definitely somebody that, as far as hey, we need this, and when you're calling plays, when you're calling defense, you're calling offense. One of the old adages is think about players, not plays. And so uh, Peyton's definitely one of those guys that we think about when we're like, okay, we need this. Like, how can we get him the ball? Like let's get this guy in the route progression, so that we have a shot of getting him the ball.
You were 2 of 13 on third down, 1 of 3 on fourth down. How much of that was execution, and then how much was dictated by Forney's defense?
It was some of both. It's the 2 of 13 on third down. That's a result of uh, not getting enough on first and second down. A lot of cases, the longer you have to go for third and whatever, uh, it decreases your chance of picking up the first down. And the same with fourth down. If we're going for fourth and three as opposed to fourth and half a yard, like you're less likely to get it. And because you got one shot, and so um, there were things like I said at the beginning that we absolutely have to fix. We absolutely have to get better at. But don't take anything away from Forney's defense. They were far and away, you know, um, one of the more athletic, sound, physical defenses that we've played around here in a long time. And that includes North Forney from the last 2 years. And North Forney, the last 2 years that we've played them, their defense has been uh, just so athletic, and there's guys all over the field that are getting Division I scholarships, and that was the same with Forney. They've got a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball that are already, they've committed to big schools, and so you get those accolades, you get those offers because of your talent level. And so that was, it was they're definitely a great defense, but one of the things of being a great defense is you force people into third and long, and then force them to have to execute at a high level on a low percentage play.
Coach Forney racked up nearly 600 yards, had 7 plays go for 20 plus yards. What broke down defensively, and how do you address those explosive plays this week in practice?
Uh, you know, uh, I think there were guys that uh, may have had their eyes in the wrong spot, or they may have ended up, it's a game of inches. So if you end up half a yard wider than you're supposed to be, or half a yard tighter than you're supposed to be on defense, it can result in huge plays. And so uh, we just go back to the basics of, when we have this call on defense, this is where everybody's supposed to be. This is what your responsibility is. And you go back and you reteach and you reteach and you reteach, and you make sure that the understanding level of the kids, because we say all the time, like, well, yeah, like we know it in the office. We know what to do in the office. We know the play and how it's supposed to be executed in the office, but like, what can you get the kids to go execute? What can you get the kids taught where they know their assignment, they know their job, they know what's expected of them on every single play, and there's no confusion, and they're able to play fast, they're able to play confident, and that's what we've tried to get back to. And that goes back to the Saginaw game. We left the Saginaw game offensively thinking, man, we didn't let them play fast, we didn't let them play confident because we had too much on, we had too much that we were trying to do. And so it's not like you go and you invent new plays or you create new plays. Like, there's some of that every week. Like, you may have a new wrinkle here and there, but you go back to what you've taught for years and years and years. You go back to, uh, you know, what it means to break down and make a tackle. You go back to, you know, this is why we line up like this in this formation that we've run since they were in sixth grade. Like, it's just, you go back to what you hang your hat on, and you teach that as well as it can be taught, so that they're confident in that stuff and they know it inside and out and backwards.
Maui Peters led the team with 4 tackles. What kind of effort did you see from your defense, especially in a game where they were on the field a lot?
I thought the defense may have started out a little wide-eyed, like too much respect for Forney instead of going out and just, they're kids like us. Like, yeah, they're very talented, they're fast, they're athletic, but I think you know, the running back was going to Notre Dame, the quarterback's going here, the backup quarterback's going here, and so you start to play tight, and you start to play hesitant because you're like, man, I don't want to end up on some kid's highlight, which that's not something that I had to deal with when I played back in the 90s. Was like, you didn't have to worry about somebody putting you on social media immediately, but I know that's one of the things that these kids deal with. And so I just think that uh, our defense for 3 weeks played lights out, and we had one game, like you said, where we've given up 600 yards. Now we go back, we diagnose, what were our biggest things? Well, you can't give up 7 plays of 20 plus yards. That's 140 yards right there, and some of them were way longer than 20.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
that was
so
just the bottom.
yeah, yeah, and so that's 140 yards minimum right there. And so um, you take that stuff and you're like, if you do what you're coached to do, if you do it the way that we ask you to do it, if you do it the way that you work it in practice, that 20-yard gain is an incomplete pass, or that 20-yard gain is a tackle at the line of scrimmage, or that 20-yard gain is uh, 5-yard gain, and so those things stack up over the course of time, over the course of a game. And so, you know, um, I have utmost confidence in our defense and the kids that we've got out there playing. And I think we're going to be much improved this week, and Mansfield offers their own set of things that we have to address. But I think, I would definitely say this week that we're going to be a lot better about assignment football and being in our gap, being in our right coverage, and go from there.
Coach, coming off the strong performance against Haltom, that's that big high. And then, do you feel like this game impacted the momentum or confidence of the team heading into district play?
Oh yeah, you never want to lose 75-20. You never set out for that as a goal. But one of the things that we've talked about is, the season's broke up into thirds. Like you have non-district, you have district, and then hopefully a long run in the playoffs. And so we're entering the second part of our schedule, and it's whether we had entered the game 3-1 or 2-2, going into Mansfield, it really doesn't matter because now all the things reset. Everybody's at 0-0, and now we have to go perform against the teams in our district. This is the part of the season where we've got to go assert our will, do the things that we're taught, do the things that we're coached, and uh, our district's wide open.
Coach, how do you reset the team emotionally after a tough homecoming loss like this one?
Oh, well, we talked about it Saturday. We went through it Saturday, and we were brutally honest with them on Saturday. But you move on as quickly as possible. You don't like I haven't talked about 75-20 with them at all during practice this week. We've only been talking about Mansfield. We've only been talking about what we have to do to win and prepare for this Mansfield game. And so uh, that's kind of how you have to approach it.
Well, this wraps up non-district play. What have you learned about your team through these early games?
I think we're uh, a really close group, which is good. That's always something you strive for as a coach. I think the kids love being around each other. I think they enjoy playing for each other, and they're a close knit group. Uh, Already through 4 games, sometimes that may take 8 or 9 weeks, but this group has gelled together really well. Uh, I think we've found a few guys on offense that are game breakers that we didn't know about that are they were unproven going in, and I definitely think Jace Richardson would be in that group. So we have two really good running backs. We have a lot of good guys out there that at receiver, um, and we've got two quarterbacks that can go and do and play and execute what we ask to. And then on defense, I think we're tackling a lot better than we did at any point in the year last year.
Hmm.
The Forney game notwithstanding, uh, but I think that you know uh, our inside linebacker play especially has been very very good, very solid. Linebackers across the board. Um, I think the secondary has been tested at times and risen to that. Um, and I just think that our best football is in front of us.
Well, speaking of best football, that is up next as we move on to this week's game against Mansfield and the trip out to Mansfield to take on the Tigers. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about that here on Pioneer Sports Extra.
Hmm.
If you're a fan of
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about the Mansfield Tigers. Mansfield comes into the game at 1-3, but they play some high-powered opponents. They're still averaging 32 points per game. What stands out to you about their offense when you watch the film?
They have two really good wide receivers. They are one of them is number 8. He looks like he's 6'7", and that's not an exaggeration. Like he's a big, long, lean kid out on the outside, and they throw him a lot of screens. They throw him a lot of go routes, and he comes down with the ball a lot. And on the other side, they've got a guy that is just as explosive. The quarterback does a good job of getting them the ball and extending plays when they're downfield. Uh, they do a good job of always keeping the play alive. Um, and so when you watch them, yeah, they're explosive on offense.
Coach, their quarterback, like you mentioned, Micah Langford, big body senior, has thrown for over 800 yards with 8 touchdowns. What kind of challenge does he pose for your defense?
uh, if you just let him sit back there and get comfortable, he's going to pick you apart. And so we've got to do a good job of getting pressure in his face and keeping him in the pocket from, he's not necessarily a guy that's going to break the pocket and run downfield, but he breaks the pocket and extends plays, and he makes your secondary uh, have to cover for a long time. And the longer your secondary has to cover, the more likely it is that somebody's going to find a hole and find a spot uh, in the defense where they can make a catch. And so I think the biggest thing is, we need to get good pressure. We need to mix up our looks and do a great job of tackling.
They seem to have a tougher time running the football, just 223 yards through 4 games. Does that allow you to prepare for a more one-dimensional attack, or do you still have to respect that running game?
Oh, you always respect the run game because it just takes one game and you could explode for 223 in one game. And so uh, you take what they've done and what they do well, and you prepare for that, but you still emphasize with your front seven, especially you emphasize gap integrity, you emphasize tackling well and being where you're supposed to be, and all the things that go into being successful on defense. Like there's not a week where you don't cover that. It's vital to what you're doing every week, whether they've been successful running the ball or not. You know, yeah, most of their yards, a big percent chunk of their yards have come through the air, and we work we work that all week. But we've still done inside hole. We've still done run cards and run periods and everything on defense because uh, we want them to continue to have to slog through there and struggle with the run game.
They've scored a lot of points, but their defense is giving up 40 points per game. How do you game plan to take advantage of that while still emphasizing execution and discipline on your children?
Oh, well, they go hand in hand. When you execute and you have discipline on the offensive side, like, execution is, if we call a pass route, like you come down with it. Your job as a receiver is to come down with it. And discipline is, not committing penalties, not false starting, not having busts and going to the wrong gap and missed reads and everything. And so I think, when we execute and we're disciplined, you're going to see our offense explode.
Offensively, you had flashes of explosiveness all through non-district, really. Even last week in the loss to Forney, Jace Richardson, Peyton Rhodes, big moments last week. What do you need to see from your offense to keep pace in what might be another high-scoring game?
Just guys step up when they're called on, and they they perform their job. They like when we call on a Colton Kersey or a Bolden Barnes or Jaden Barboza or any of those guys, uh, Porter Stevenson, he had a great game, stepped up versus Saginaw, and needs to continue to do that. And because I mean, Peyton had a big game. Jason's had some big games. When Chance comes back healthy, people are going to know who Chance is. And so the more guys we have that execute and finish the play, and I say finish the play meaning like if we throw you the ball, you're coming down with it. If we hand you the ball, you're getting 5 yards or whatever it is. But when those guys do that, it makes it hard for a defense to say, okay, well, we'll just load up the box like you were saying. We'll load up the box and we'll take away the run and then we'll double the guy that got 9 catches last week and be good. Well, now like who do you double team? Who do you play pass coverage or do you play against the run? And so um, that's what you want from your offense. That's what we want from our offense is 5 guys can touch the ball any given play, and we want the defense to have to defend all 5.
Third down conversions. It's no secret in football. Third down conversions very important. Struggled last week a little bit. How much of your prep this week is focused on staying ahead of the change and extending drives?
We work third downs every week, and we work um, first and second down a lot in our team sessions, and so it's you have to look at well, okay, what's been successful. And so, sometimes some years there's a play that you really liked because in years past it's been a really good play for you. And then for whatever reason, maybe, because it's been such a good play for you, people know it's coming or people know that you like that and so they're geared up for it. And so you have to see, you know, is what I'm calling as offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, is it is it as good as I remember it, or do we need to find something else? And so you're doing that week to week. You always self scout and everything. And so that's what But every team, you work third downs, you work different third down situations, like we did ours today. We worked anything from 3rd and 1 to all the way to 3rd and 12. And um, honestly we don't work 3rd and 20 or 25 a ton because you really want to stay out of those.
All right. Coach, what are the biggest keys this Friday night? I always ask you, let's see, both offensively and defensively, if the Pioneers are going to come out with a win against Mansfield.
This Friday is going to be a very unique experience for our players. We do not have school on Friday. So the biggest thing this Friday is going to be for every one of them to maintain focus during the day, because they're not going to be at school. They're not going to be walking around. And so we're going to keep our morning as normal as possible. We normally show up at 8 and we've got some team activities that we do during first period. We're going to keep that the same. And then they're going to report back to school in the afternoon and we're going to get on the bus and go. And so we have 2 of these uh, this year, that, a Friday off and a game. And so we're going to have to make sure that mentally we are locked in because, I don't want them going home and taking naps all day after our morning stuff. And because you'll be lethargic. You'll be, it'll be like you
Lose
woke
that
up.
edge.
Yeah. And so that's what I've been preaching to them this week is take care of themselves and be smart on Friday. And on top of all the football things. Now, the football biggest keys are going to be we have to show vast improvement over the way that we were versus Forney last week. Um, we've got to tackle better. We've got to cover better on the defensive side. We had too many missed tackles. We had too many blown coverages, or not, maybe not blown coverages, but where we were too far away from the guy when he was catching the ball. And then offensively, we've got to develop consistency. Uh, we've had a game where we scored 21 points on the first 3 drives, and then we never saw the end zone again. And then we've had a game where we scored 21 points on the last 3 drives of the game and came back and beat Haltom. Uh, we've got to put a complete game together uh, heading into this first district matchup.
Special teams, Coach, we don't talk about those a whole lot. They can be the hidden X factor in games like this. How's your unit performed so far? What role do you see it playing Friday night?
Special teams. I was the special teams coordinator for 3 or 4 years here, and so special teams is a lot bigger part of our practice than maybe some other places. Um, and so you're absolutely right. It's one of the 3 phases that a lot of people sometimes overlook. And so I think elements of our special teams units have performed well. Uh, like you saw Friday night, we changed our punt formation up. Uh, we'd been a rugby punt for nearly 10 years, and I didn't feel good about where we were with the rugby punt, and so we changed it, and we've gone to a more traditional punt. But uh, Coach Smith has still got the green light to be aggressive and go get first downs with punts, fake punts, fake field goals, any of that. I know we haven't done any of that yet this year, but uh, we haven't really been in a situation where it kind of worked in our favor, or um, may have been a high percentage get on our side. But yeah, absolutely, special teams. You want it to be perfect. You don't want to have any missteps. Personnel wise, execution wise. Uh, you got to snap, hold, and kick on the PAT field goal. You got to snap and kick on the punt, and then a blocked kick can uh, turn the game on a dime. You know, um, your percentages of going up after blocking a kick of winning the game go up nearly 20% if you're able to block a kick, over the whole course of football. And so, we've had years where we blocked a lot of kicks. We've had years where we didn't block any kicks. And so, like I said, we work special teams probably a lot more than some other teams in the state, but we know how important it is. Like you said, it's that X factor.
So, Coach, if you're up by 35 points, do you plan on any onside kicks?
You'll have to just show up and watch.
That was a dig. Sorry, I had to take it.
Yeah.
Uh, with both teams capable of putting points on the board, how important is it to win the turnover battle and control field position?
Oh, it's you can't overstate it. Um, the turnover battle is like a blocked kick. If you win the turnover battle, the likelihood of you winning the game goes up huge percentage points. And so, you win the turnover battle, you win the penalty battle, you don't commit stupid penalties, uh, or untimely penalties, and that helps you control the field position, when you're getting turnovers, you're not going backwards. All that stuff goes into the complete picture of being a successful Friday night.
This is the first of several key district matchups. You got to win at least four. I mean, that's usually get you in. How do you keep the team focused on 1 week at a time, especially with the goals of making the playoffs?
It's something that you have to reinforce every week, um, and like kind of like I alluded to earlier, like you go 1 week at a time. You come in on Saturday, you assess, you teach, you correct, and then you gotta put it to bed. You can't, if in 2 weeks we're talking about, like, we're out on the field as coaches and I'm yelling at somebody or talking to somebody and I'm like, this is exactly what you did versus Forney. Like, no, like
Yeah.
let's not do that.
All right.
What are we doing that's going to help us versus Mansfield this week, September 26th? Like, and so you got to do it as a coach if you expect the kids to do it. And so, like, I'm not looking ahead to anybody that we're playing. I'm focused on the Mansfield Tigers and being 1-0.
Final question, Coach. What's your message to Pioneer Nation as they get ready to make the trip to Mansfield Friday night?
It is at R.L. Anderson Stadium, not the big Newsom
Oh, the big
Stadium.
pretty one.
It is at R.L. Anderson Stadium. So make sure that when you look up the address, that you are looking up the address for R.L. Anderson.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a look at this week's game against Mansfield. And of course, if you can't make it to the game, um, you can tune in to Boswell Sports on our YouTube channel, same place that you're watching this. Or if you want to go out to a restaurant, you can go over to Eagles Nest here on Boat Club Road. They show it on the TVs there. Real excited about that. And but we want everybody to go out to the stadium and let the Pioneers feel that energy. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we got Payton Peters or Peyton
Peyton
Rose Payton Peterson's my play-by-play guy. Peyton Rhodes is in the house. That's next here on Boswell Sports. Meet Kim Miller. She's a property management specialist. She can help take out the hassle from the rent raise. Let her show you how to become an owner and not just a landlord. Help with rent collection, maintenance, and inspections. That's All County Property Management.
When you make money, we make money. Low vacancy rates, full web access, low monthly fee, no hidden or extra cost. Connect with us from a wide range of devices, your smartphone, tablet, and computer. So before you rent your next property, call us. Check us out on Facebook, Boswellsports, Twitter, Instagram. So what are you waiting for? Contact us today. All County Property Management, 817-567-2500.
Meet Kim Miller. She's a property management
Oh, Red's barbecue,
She
making
can
moo
help
like
take
a
out the-
cow. Tasting Texas pride, no stopping now. From sun up to sundown, this place feels right. Red's barbecue, every single bite.
Okay, welcome back to Red's Barbecue. And man, if you don't like barbecue, they got chicken fried steak on Mondays. They also got hamburgers like you wouldn't believe. Fish, if you like fish, they got catfish. I got it all. 7335 Boat Club Road, right here next to the Boz. And come out and see my friends Amy and Justin at Red's Barbecue. We certainly appreciate them and them allowing us to come into their house and put on this show. But right now, we've got one of the stars of the game last week, Peyton Rhodes, the Pioneers wide receiver who did such a great job last week. And where are you, Peyton? All right. Well, that's not good. It's not switching the camera. All right, so we'll just do it manually.
Okay.
It'd be easier if I just switch spots with him.
Well, I can't switch to your camera for some reason.
But I mean, with that camera that you had, where it just shows both of you.
It's this one here.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, Peyton. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why. All of a sudden, our equipment just said, I'm not going to work anymore. Peyton, you're the leading the team in receptions right now with 22 catches. How does it feel to be such a key part of the offense this season?
Oh.
Okay.
What camera is it on? Okay, so
I don't know where that's coming from.
That's weird. Oh, I know what the problem is.
Oh,
Hey, there he
we
is.
go. Okay. It feels pretty good because I mean last year I obviously, as you know, I didn't have a touchdown, so that was kind of rough. But it feels good to obviously get the ball more and have more yards, and it feels good to be a leader in the receiver corps.
Last week against Forney, he had 2 clutch catches and a season high 9 receptions. I want you to walk us through those plays and what you were seeing out there, because like I told Coach, man, those were amazing.
So the first one, I mean, obviously I know the play before, but I know that that's a ball that's coming to me. And when he threw it and it was tipped, I was like, oh great, because that wasn't the first one that was tipped. So it was kind of, I mean, not annoying, but yeah. And then when I caught it and I started going for the goal line, it had been so long since I'd scored a touchdown, so it honestly felt kind of weird seeing the goal line.
Now, is that your first at the varsity level?
First varsity touchdown. Yeah.
Wow, so awesome. And then the second one was incredible. You had a guy draped all over you. And how you caught that football, I don't know. How did you catch it?
I mean, I didn't stick my hands out or anything. Tyler just threw a perfect ball and I caught it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, just perfectly right there in the numbers. And a lot of times when you have a guy on your back the way this guy was, uh, you have a tendency to miss the catch.
Hmm.
But you were able to you were able to hold on. So what was that feeling like?
I mean, it felt good getting in the end zone again. I mean, it was kind of the same feeling. Like, obviously, the situation of the game limited the excitement a little bit, but it still felt good to get a touchdown.
Walk us through what it's like when you score and you go back to the sideline.
Uh, it's pretty good because all your friends are celebrating with you. I mean, all the team knew that I hadn't had a touchdown in 2 years, so they were all celebrating with me. There's a video that my dad sent me where there's like 4 people on the sideline like throwing their hands up for me. So,
And do the coaches say anything to you?
I mean, obviously, good job and everything. Give high fives, but they got to worry about the extra point, the next play.
Perfect. Last week against Forney, let's see, um, what was your mindset going into that game, especially knowing that it was homecoming and then it was going to be a big test against a really good football team?
I really just I kind of wanted to prove like a lot of people wrong, like mainly in the school because a lot of people didn't like believe in us because of like the past year and everything. And for me, I obviously wanted to perform well against a good secondary because that's a chance for me to get looked at. And yeah, I mean, couldn't really prove the people wrong that night, but just wanted to go out and perform.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I did have fun,
Awesome.
yes.
I mean, really, folks, when it gets down to it, at the high school level, that's what it's all about.
Hmm.
You're not getting paid, you know, nobody's going to lose their job, so to speak. Uh, you're there to have fun. And so I'm glad to hear that you had fun.
Yeah.
Of the games so far this season, which one's been your favorite and why?
My favorite was the Haltom for sure. Uh, Last year we had so many games where we were up and the other team came back against us, and it felt good to be on the other side of that, especially since Haltom did it to us the year before.
Did that game give you guys confidence?
It did, yes.
What do you love most about playing wide receiver? Is it the route running, the catches, the completions, or something else?
Um,
Blocking?
well, obviously the catches are great, but with last year with not scoring a touchdown, it honestly was blocking because a lot of the times with Chance scrambling and stuff, there was or not scrambling, but like making moves, there was a lot of downfield blocking that needed to be made, and there were multiple times where like you made a block that resulted in a touchdown at the end, and that's a great feeling too.
Oh, and I hope this doesn't give away any information, but um, wide receivers in the NFL, you have some who don't like to go across the middle.
Hmm.
You seem pretty comfortable with going across the middle. Would you rather do that or an out or a fly? Which would you rather do?
I mean, I don't really have a preference. I mean, I run them out the same every time. Like expect to be open, expect to get the ball. I mean, you've probably seen it. I get hit a lot, pretty hard sometimes, so I'm not really worried about that.
So you don't have any apprehensions about going across the middle.
No, not really.
That's cool. I like that. I like that in a receiver. Have you ever played any other position, either this season or earlier in your football career?
In middle school, I played safety, and then freshman year, I played a little bit of corner, but
And did you like those positions, or
not as much as receiver. I just like having the ball in my hands most of the time.
if you could play both ways, would you?
I mean, if I needed to, yes. Do I want to? Not really, but yeah.
Coach, have we ever worked him on defense?
I I'm confident we could put him wherever we needed him, and he'd be awesome.
You're a junior now. What are some of your goals for the rest of the season and heading into your senior year?
Um, I just want to lead the team in every aspect, whether it's stats or like leading them like as an actual like leader. Like I don't, how do you explain that? Like holding people accountable, encouraging people, and
Just
just
leadership
just yeah, just
overall.
leadership overall, just being there for everyone.
Perfect. Outside of football, do you play any other sports at Boswell?
I run track, I play baseball, and I used to do cross country and powerlifting.
Nice. So, okay, of those, which is your favorite outside of football?
Outside of football,
Because I know your
uh,
baseball team's pretty good
our
too.
baseball team is good, but I've always enjoyed track because it's the one sport that's it's one of the sports I do that's individual, and I've succeeded really well in that in like earlier years.
What do you do in track?
I do long distance.
Oh, okay, nice. So what, like 300
No, 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 no,
or
Like
1600,
800, 1600,
oh,
3200
nice.
there. Yeah.
3200, yeah.
1600 and 3200, always my favorite. No cross country?
Not this year now.
Okay. Um, what's your favorite subject in school right now and why?
Um, Subject probably I take a medical class called midterm.
Oh, okay.
That's
At
my favorite one so
Hollenstein?
far. No, I'm not at Holliston yet. I midterm is still at the campus.
And what do you enjoy most about that?
Um, well, my dad is a doctor, so
Oh, nice.
I enjoy like studying stuff like that with like the human body and everything, and that's one of the career paths that I want to take. And I have friends in the class too, so that makes it better.
When you're not on the field or in class, how do you spend your free time? Any hobbies or interests that people might not expect?
Um, I fish a lot.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
well, it's not really a hobby, it's more of a club, but I'm with FCA. I'm one of the leaders, so we have meetings for that throughout the week, sometimes Mondays and sometimes Sundays. Um, and I like to golf too.
Okay, nice. Oh, both good. Uh, are you familiar with Will Osteen?
I'm
He's a
not.
little bit before your time. He was here 4 or 5 years ago, but he was a big uh, fisherman on the fishing team, and
Yep.
he actually went to college and was on their fishing
Yeah,
team.
that's cool.
So pretty cool. Have you started thinking about your plans after high school yet? Is football in college something that you're aiming for?
Um, I've thought a little bit about it. Not I don't really like know like what college I want to go to, but I don't know. I'm not really sure about sports in college because I want to have like the big school like vibe. Like I I would love to play college football longer, but it's just the small schools. I don't know how I feel about going to a smaller school.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not really that I don't want to, it's just preference on the school.
Do you have a preference of a school?
Um, Not really. I do like Tennessee though. That's one.
Wow.
And my
Okay.
sister is at Texas Tech right now, so maybe there.
Oh, guns up.
Mm.
Favorite NFL player or wide receiver that you look up to?
Oh, right now, probably Cooper Cup.
Cooper Cup. Okay, how come?
Um, I just really liked watching him on that Triple Crown year and that Super Bowl year. Yeah.
Okay. Pre-game hype song or artist? What do you do for pregame?
The song I've listened to before every game this year was Brain Stew.
No idea, coach. But
It's an older song.
it sounds
I don't remember
interesting.
who sings it.
Is it rap?
No,
No.
it's not.
Okay.
I don't remember who sings it though, but it's an older song.
Okay. Um, Go to post-game meal.
Post game. Mod Pizza.
Oh, that's a good one. Definitely a good one. You might have to have, well, Reds isn't open that late,
Yeah.
but I was going to say you might have to add Reds to that.
Yeah.
But final question: what's your message to the Pioneer fans as you head into district play this week against Mansfield?
Just be optimistic. Don't don't judge us based on last year or past losses. Like just be confident in us and be there for us.
Very nice. Very nice. Would you like to give a shout out to somebody watching the show tonight?
I'd like to shout out my family that comes to all the games. I'd like to shout out my mom and dad mainly because so before freshman year, I was gonna go only cross country and not play football.
Oh,
So
wow.
they were the ones that kept me in football.
Oh,
And
way to go,
they're the
mom and
big
dad.
yeah, they're the
Yeah.
big reason I'm still playing.
That's awesome.
And then shout out to my brother. He's actually at a different high school, so he still comes to our games there to support me. And then to my sister who was a cheerleader at Boswell last year and at Tech now.
Oh, nice. So was your brother in the district
He
still?
is, yeah. He goes to Eagle Mountain High
Eagle
School.
Mountain High School. Wow. Okay. All right. Um, well, we appreciate you having you on the show, and we hope that you guys get the win on Friday night.
Thank you.
That wraps up tonight's episode. And okay, why now it's really messing with me, Coach. Oh, I know why. Because we changed the camera. Um, so I figured out what happened. I always tell Keith, I say, watch the eyeball. And so the reason why it would not quit showing me is because I had it on the computer's webcam
Okay.
instead of the actual camera that you're seeing now. Yep, there we go. So, Coach, I needed you to run this thing next time
Okay.
Keith's not here. We appreciate you guys joining us as we preview this week's big district opener against the Mansfield Tigers. Kickoff is Friday night at R.L. Anderson Stadium. That's very important. Don't go to Newsom Stadium. Go to R.L. Anderson Stadium there in Mansfield. I would encourage you to leave early. I remember the games we had last year there, and it was a booger bear getting there because of traffic. And so pregame coverage is at 6:30. We'll have kickoff live at 7 p.m. Be sure to join Payton Peterson, Keith Diamond, and myself for the full broadcast. Can't make the trip? No worries. You can watch us live on the YouTube channel, or you can catch the game on the big screen at the Eagles Nest right here on Boat Club Road. That'll do it for the show tonight. Give us the thumbs up and the likes and, all that stuff. Subscribe. Uh, and let us know how you enjoyed the show. We want to say thank you. We've seen an increase in our viewership since we've gone pre-recorded. So folks, I guess, like that better than they do
Yeah.
live, Coach. And so appreciate everybody tuning in. That'll do it for tonight's show. For Coach Weaver, Keith Diamond, who's not here, and of course, Peyton Rhodes, I'm Jim Howard saying good night from Red's Barbecue. And as always, go Boz.
Go Boz.
Pioneer sports, extra tales of great Boswell's never rock and roll.